Okay. I hit the frame. The game crashed. Lovely. There's one frame where if you skip the cutscene too fast, it crashes. Do I need to open Task Manager? Are you for real? Majika. That's not online. Good lord. Really? Great. What? What's the difference between normal and EXKO? Well, I have a freaking 8-year-old video about that, but it sucks. So, KO and EXKO have similar looking normals, like their punches and their kicks. They look very similar, and they function mostly similar. I would say EXKO has better normals overall. Like EXKO can chain his stand light kick. Like this. And that is the only chainable standing low normal in the game. Get all your combos from it like that. Also, his jumping command normal is 1 frame faster. I believe it's 8 frames for regular KO and 7 frames for EXKO. Just overall, his normals are very similar, but a little bit better. Also, the normal you use for combos is different, because you can do this, but you can't combo into it with regular KO. But you can with the other command normal, the down forward heavy kick. Only the first hit though. So in general, EXKO should theoretically do less damage in his combos because his cancelable command normal is 30 damage, whereas his is whatever that is. But their special moves, everything in the special moves column is completely different for both characters. The only move that looks the same is this one. And it's sort of like a mid-screen combo ender after this move for both characters. So their combos are going to be extremely different for one. And for another thing is the because EX Kyo has his Rekka, his neutral can be a little bit different. So I'm going to point out a couple of moves that EX Kyo has that you can kind of just use in neutral, and it's a little bit more safe than regular Kyo. With regular Kyo, he has an uppercut and a fireball. So in exchange for losing uppercut and fireball, EX Kyo gets a couple of new things. So he still has an uppercut. It's basically the same uppercut, not really exactly. It is armor instead of invincibility, which is overall a net positive, I think. Although they're very similar. They're functionally the same. I think his EX uppercut's a little bit worse. But you shouldn't be using EX uppercut. You should be using light uppercut the anti-air, and you should be using heavy uppercut as a wake-up tool. But anyway, here's Rekka. Rekka has armor on it. Even the light one where he goes bodega, bodega, bodega. All of them have armor on them on the first hit. So I can be from here, and I can do like a whiff cancel to hit from like this far. Almost. There it is. So I'm staying right here. I can hit you from that far away with an armored special move. Now I'm not gonna get any combos from it because it's too far. Whoa. See, it's too far. But if I'm closer, a little bit closer, then I get that whole thing. Or I can do a drive cancel. And both characters, when they're mid-screen, if you're mid-screen, you don't have very many options. You basically just have to do this. Or if you don't even have the quarter kick move, you can just do Rekkas. But with regular Kyo, he has the advantage of having his down forward heavy kick command normal, which combos from lights. So if I do lights with EX Kyo, I can't go into my quarter heavy kick. If I'm mid-screen, I can do this, or if I'm in the corner, I can do that. I don't think that works. That works. I could be wrong. No, it doesn't work mid-screen. Okay, if you're closer, it might work. Yeah, if you're closer, you get that, but off a 3-hit confirm, you're not gonna get that. You're gonna do Rekkas. So that's one advantage of regular Kyo. He always gets his quarter forward heavy kick from light normals, whereas EX Kyo has to do a heavy normal, or he has to do a drive cancel. And obviously, the combos you do off of them are going to be very different. Like this is regular, or this is EX Kyo's. And then regular Kyo gets a better combo in general in the corner in terms of building meter. Also, just in terms of variety. Okay, so that's one thing that EX Kyo has is his Rekkas have armor on them, so you can just kind of throw them out. They are unsafe, except for the EX one. The EX one is actually safe on the first hit. Let me pull out the frame beta. Oh, I don't even have it on this. Actually, do I have both of them? I might. This. I have... Yeah, I do have both of them. Sir, I am a casual. If you're a casual, then you wouldn't be going into live streams asking questions. As soon as you ask a question, as soon as you stop playing the game and ask questions about the game, you're not casual anymore. Let's see. Whoop, this one. So, EXQ. All his rekkas, that's this block, right here. All his rekkas are -7 or worse on block. Light rekkas -7 on block. And everything else is worse. Heavy rekkas -10. The EX one is -6, and if you do the third hit is -4. So the first 3 hits of the rekka are kind of safe for the EX one only. But for your meterless rekkas, they're all unsafe. -7 or worse. So, in theory, they're all punishable. In theory. But that's not really going to happen most of the time, because you can just do the follow-up. Frame advantage is your recovery minus their block stun. So here, let me whoops. So let's say this is me. This is the attacker. This is the defender. So the attacker's the one doing the move. The defender's get rid of this. The defender's the one blocking the move. There's some amount of time. So the game runs at 60 FPS, which is frames per second. So a frame is 1/60th of a second for most fighting games. There are games that break the rule, but for fighting games specifically, you're like almost every single fighting game is specifically programmed to lock your frame rate at 60 and nothing else, which helps us with several things. But the main thing that we're using it here for is for time. So one frame is always 1/60th of a second. So let's say a move is 10 frames, right? So this is the duration of the whole move. Right, we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's cut it off there. Oh, I got a challenge. Right. Okay. And so at some point during this move, the move's gonna hit, right? So that's the startup. I don't want to play him. He hit like 190 ping. Not gonna happen. Let's say it's like a jab that hits on frame 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So right there. Okay. So this move has a startup of 4 frames. Right. That means that he winds up for 1, 2, 3. Then on frame 4, it's bam, it's hitting. So his hitbox, the hitbox is active starting on frame 4. Now, if it makes contact, the active frames don't matter. So let's ignore active frames. The startup is 4, and the recovery in this case would be 7. Because it hits on frame 4, so there's 3 frames before it hits, and then there's 7 frames after it hits, for a total of 10. So the recovery is 7. The total frames is 10. Oops. Whoops. 10 frames. So the total frames is always equal to startup plus recovery minus 1 because of the extra active frame. That's an R, trust me. There we go. Okay, but what do you make? So we're assuming the move makes contact on the first frame, right? So the move makes contact here. for the defender. So during this time, they're totally free to act. Well, okay. Active frames is usually a window of a few frames. Like say you're doing, if you've ever played, I mean, think of any projectile. A projectile has many active frames, right? Like, I can throw the Hadouken from here. Hadouken. Right? It could make contact over here, or it can make contact over here. Or it could make contact over here. Or it could make contact, like, it's going to keep traveling the screen, right? So it's active the whole time. But what's important is this. When does the opponent get hit by it? And so for the purposes of this, we are assuming the opponent gets hit by it instantly on the first active frame. So a projectile will have multiple active frames. Most striking attacks have 2, 3, maybe 4 active frames just to make sure the move connects. But yeah, let's say it connects on the first active frame. Now we have some amount of block stun. Or hit stun if they're not blocking, it's hit stun. But let's say they're blocking, so block stun. Let's say it has 5 frames of block stun. Okay, we gotta count 5. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's so horrible. 4, 5. Right, so here's where it connects, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 3 frames where the attacker is winding up, going for their punch. Meanwhile, the defender is not in any sort of commitment to anything. They can dash, they can jump, they can attack, they can roll, they can do nothing. They can just stand there and block. That also works. But as soon as this frame happens, he's locked into his choice for 5 frames. For the 5 frames of block stun. So the block stun is 5 frames of this move. Okay, so that is the amount of stun the opponent is put into. Now, if it's on hit, usually hit stun is longer than block stun. Not always, but usually hit stun is longer than block stun. So let's say the hit stun of this move is 7 frames. Right, so these are the type of things that you would see in a chart of frame data, like this thing. I have startup here, active frames, total frames. We'll get to those. Damage, stun, guard damage, whether it's cancelable, how much meter it builds, whatever. But these are the things that matter for frame data. You have the startup, the recovery, the total frames, the block stun, and the hit stun. These go hand in hand, though, because you can calculate one based on the other. So so in my chart, you didn't see this column at all, because I don't need that. You can calculate that by saying 10 minus 4 plus 1 is 7. But anyway, so what is the frame advantage? What are these columns? This stands for on hit and on block. This is your frame advantage on hit and on block. So the frame advantage is whoever recovers first. So if you notice this part is the part that matters. Where does this number come from? You take the recovery here and the block stun here, and you subtract them. And you say 7 minus 5 is 2. So what does that mean? It means that the attacker is recovering, it's the defender is recovering 2 frames sooner than the attacker. Okay, so let me get an extreme example of a move with extreme frame advantage or disadvantage. This is very important. This is a concept that applies to every single fighting game. As soon as you understand this, things are going to start making sense. Okay, I'm going to send him to 1 guard jump to make it easier to see. So as soon as he guards something, he's going to hold up, right? And I'm going to do the exact same. If I do this move, you see that? Look at this. I'm already at the top of my jump. He's still in block stun. He hasn't even jumped yet. So this move has insanely high frame advantage for the attacker. Right? I jump first, so I have the advantage. But if I do a move like this, let's do this. Ugh. He's almost landed from his jump, and I'm just now starting my jump. So that means he recovers way before me. So I have extreme disadvantage when doing that move. So this move is really good on block. It's very plus. There's a lot of plus frames. I'm at advantage. And this move is very minus. I'm at frame disadvantage. And we could even say it's punishable. So let me show you what a punish is. I'm sure you already know this. But let's do... Actually, let's do this. Bam. I'm going to set him to all guard. All guard. So anytime I do an attack, he'll just block it. Right? Including my close heavy punch. But if he does the super, he's at such a frame disadvantage that I'm hitting him here. I'm hitting him right there. I'm hitting him while he's still in the recovery of his move. Now, in this case, I've listed it so that this move is only -2, right? So there's no attack that's fast enough to punish him here, because there's no 2-frame or faster attack. Well, okay. There is one in the game, but not for Kyo. Kyo doesn't have this. So Kyo cannot punish a move that is -2 on block under normal circumstances. But it's still good because it's still minus. But we'll get there. But let's say this move had a whole bunch of frames over here. Let's say the recovery was a lot higher, like 15. If the recovery is 15, it goes from being -2 to -10. So any move that's 10 frames or faster will punish this. And there's plenty of moves with a startup of 10 or lower. All of these normals, except for his command normal and his CD, are 10 frames or faster. So any move that has a 10 here or lower will be able to punish it if you time it right. Because it's going to hit during the recovery of the move. So that's a punish. Or if it were hit stun, so let's say the hit stun of this is really high. Let's say the hit stun of this is like, 15. If the hit stun is 15, whoa, it goes way over there. So there's plenty of time for me to recover. So at this point, I've done the move, I've finished the animation, I punched you or whatever, and I've already fully recovered, I'm ready to attack again. You are still stuck in hit stun. So I can do another move in this amount of time here, and if it connects within a certain amount of time before you recover, it'll hit you while you're still in hit stun from the previous move. So this is very easily seen from a jumping normal, like this, because you recover instantly. So if you get hit here, bam, combo. That's how you form combos, is by, bam, putting the opponent into hit stun, and then hitting them before they recover. Like that. And the way you do this is from a combination of links and cancels. This game usually just has links, so I can do things like this. Oops. Right? So all of that was me hitting the opponent during the hit stun of the previous hit in the combo. Those are the two main takeaways that you should take from frame data concepts. Okay? Is how to punish things that are very minus on block, and how to form combos from things that are very plus on hit. And the way you do this is by looking at the numbers. So if a move is, I mean, let's pick one that's minus on block. I mean, I showed you the Rekka, right? The Rekka for light Rekka is -7 on block. So let me pick double EXKO here. Okay. So I'm looking for a move that is 7 frames or faster. Oh look, 5B, standing light kick, is 7 frames of startup. So if I set him to do light Rekka then block, right? He's going to do light Rekka, then he's going to block. So if I do a move that's slower, like crouching heavy kick is 8 frames. That's too slow. It doesn't matter how many times I try this. Crouching heavy kick will not punish light Rekka on block. Why? Because light Rekka is -7, and my crouching heavy kick is 8 frame startup. It's 1 frame too slow. But my stand light kick is 7 frames. So if I time my stand light kick frame perfectly, that was too slow. There's no input buffer on this, by the way. You have to time it right. Oh, made a crouch light kick. Come on. There we go. If I time my stand light kick perfectly, it'll punish. Now that's a really hard punish. You probably shouldn't be, relying on that because it's a 1 frame punish. Pro players do the math on the fly. Not always. But is there a faster move that I can use that makes it easier? I mean, crouch light kick. Here we go. Crouch light kick is 4 frames. So if a 7 frame startup normal is a 1 frame punish, then subtract 3 to get the startup, so you add 3. So this is a 4 frame window to punish. This is going to be much easier. Whoops, I held record instead of playback. There we go. There we go. This punish is much easier. Problem is, it's not cancelable. I can't actually get a combo from this. Let's say HD, of course, but so pro players typically do not know that level. Like, pro players will know that light Rekka is somewhere around -7, but they probably won't know it's exactly -7. And pro players will probably know stand light kick is it's a light normal, but it's kind of slow, so it's probably about 5, maybe 6, maybe 7. So they won't know the exact numbers, but they'll have categories of moves that are really fast, moves that are kind of fast, moves that are kind of slow, and they'll have categories of moves that are plus on block, minus on block, and punishable on block. And light Rekka will be in that brain space where it's like, okay, this move is technically punishable on block, but it might be tough. Now, when they see an uppercut like this, they're like, oh, that move's -1 billion on block. I can get whatever punish I want from it, right? Or if they block a jump in, they're like, oh, well, that's +1 billion. I better keep blocking. Okay, but what happens when it's neither punishable and not a combo on hit? What happens when it's +1, +2, -1, -2, or even 0? What happens? Well, you're not going to get anything guaranteed, which is the thing that people misunderstand the most. Like if I do a move like this, standing light punch on block. Stop. Standing light punch on block is +2, right? And you can visualize. So this is why they have 1 guard jump. Is so that you don't need to know the numbers, you can just look at it. Right? So the Kyo on the left is higher, which means he jumped first. And if we look at the actual chart, we can see the move is plus I did stand light punch on block +2. So the KO on the left is jumping 2 frames sooner than the KO on the right. But what does this mean as far as like strategy and how you should play? So let's look at this. It's 4 frame startup, so it hits on frame 4. Frame 1, 2, 3. Bam! It hits on this frame. So let's mark this. This is when it hits. The total is 14. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And on block, it's +2. So their block stun's going to start here. But it's going to run out 2 frames later. Than theirs. Right, so this zone here is the important zone. This is the zone where I've done my jab. Actually, it looks like this. I've done my elbow. And then I've fully recovered. I'm ready to attack again. And this is the time where I'm ready to attack again, but they're not. They are still in block stun from blocking my elbow. This is frame advantage. And so, what does this mean? This move is +2. +2 on block. What does +2 on block mean? Well, let's think about what happens here. Let's just say both players are standing next to each other, right? So we're point blank range and we're ready to fight. And we both attack at about the same time. Who wins? Who wins that attack? Well, it depends on when their attacks make contact. So if player 1's attack. Hello, Danny. I'm explaining basic frame data concepts. We're talking about frame advantage. Yes, we've established what it means for a move to be +2 on hit or block, or -2 on hit or block, and we've established punishes, and we've established combos, link combos. But now we're talking about what happens when it's not enough to be a link combo or to be a punish on block. If I'm +2, that means I recover first. Okay, so let's say both players are playing. Let's say both players are using the exact same speed of attack. Let's say they're doing a 3-frame attack. So I'll put it in green. So all the thing that's from before is black. This one I did my elbow. Bam. I'm +2, and let's say both players attack as soon as they possibly can. If I attack here, bam, 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 that's where my attack connects. And he attacks here. As soon as possible, bam, uh-oh, bam, bam. It would connect there, but it's not going to, because you're already getting hit over here. You're already getting hit over here. Why? Because I recovered first from my jab. So let me show you an example. Let's say I set him to do this. Okay. First of all, this is a link combo, as you saw. Why? Because jab on hit is +4, and close heavy punch is 3 frames. So this is a 2-frame link. But let's say I block it. And I'm in the corner. Right? So he's going to do this string. Basic string, +2 on block. If I try to do the same move, if I try to do heavy punch when he presses heavy punch. Oh, maybe closer. It's not going to work. I'm just going to get hit. See? It doesn't matter what I try. He is +2 on block doing a 3-frame move. No matter what I do, I can't hit him out of it. Unless it's invincible, of course. If I'm invincible, okay, that's armor, but if I do something that's invincible, I can go through it. But it just basically with trying to punish him with a basic move is not going to work. Why? Because he recovers first. Bam. He recovers first. All because of this. All because he's +2 means he recovers 2 frames sooner, which means that his next attack will come sooner than my next attack, which means that his will hit first, which means that he'll win. Jab is unbeatable close range. Well, it's not the jab that's unbeatable. Okay? If you block the jab, if you see him go like this, bam! Then he's plus on block, which means that you should probably keep blocking or, not attack. You should not attack in this case. Why? Because if you attack and he attacks, he's going to win. Whoops. Now, likewise, there are moves that are minus on block, right? So if I pull this back up again, and I do this move, the overhead, and he blocks it. In this case, the kill on the right jumps first. So the one blocking it recovers 2 frames sooner than the one who did the move. So that is comparable to him being +2 is similar to them being -2, if that makes sense. So it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same situation, but flipped. And so this is called a frame trap. If I do something like this, guard this. This is called a frame trap. It's called a frame trap because I'm doing a plus on block move into a fast move. So there's nothing that my opponent can do to just mash buttons and escape. Okay? And that's fine, because they could just block it. And if they block it, well, close heavy punch is 0 on block. So you're out. You're 0 on block and you're way over here. Right? Like, being 0 at this distance is totally fine. You have successfully escaped the opponent's pressure. Like, if you block one of these, you're in trouble. Like, he's gonna keep doing this. He's gonna do mix-ups on you. He's gonna get a full hit confirm. And you're gonna take damage, right? Like, blocking one of these is great. You're out. You've successfully escaped the opponent's pressure. And so that is sort of the beginning of how to start pressure in this game. It's like, okay, I have my frame advantage. I have my +2. Now what do I do with it? Well, I could do one of these. I could do a frame trap, and he has to block that. If he doesn't block this, he's going to get hit. Right? And I can confirm it into a combo. This is a combo. Right? That's bad. You don't want that to happen, so you should keep blocking. If you keep blocking, then he'll eventually have no choice but to do something that can't keep up the frame advantage. Like, at some point, he has to do something that loses to something that you can do. For example, he could do a rehop, right? So, first of all, if he just does this, you're out, right? The pressure's over. But he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to do that. He could do this. Jab. Oh, I'm jumping in again. It's called a re-hop. Is when I do pressure and I just keep hopping. Right? It's not safe for you to move here, right? Because I'm +2, right? So if I do this and you try something, it's just gonna hit you. But you should still consider doing something anyway. Because I might not do that. I could do this. Right? And because it's KoF, you have a guard gauge. Eventually, you're just gonna die. Like, eventually, you have to make a move. Eventually. That's the bare bones basics of pressure in KoF XIII is... Whoops. Is... How do I make my opponent feel like they can't move? And how do I make my opponent get guard broken when they don't move? That's step one. That is step one. Is making my opponent feel like they can't move, which is, you know, applying pressure, and then keeping up the pressure in a convincing way to make it feel like they still can't move, even though they technically can at some points. But I'm good enough at mixing up when I approach to make that harder. Like, when you see me play, you'll see me do a variety of things on pressure. Like, if I say I do one of these and they block this, there's several things in my mind that I'm thinking of that I might do. There's several different things that I might do. One, you already saw it. I could go for a frame trap, right? It's like, so again, a frame trap is when I attack them soon after their block stun ends. So that there's a gap, but the gap is not big enough for them to hit me. So if I, like, a perfect frame trap would be hitting them the frame they recover from block stun. Right? So it's something like this. And you can test this in training mode by doing one guard jump. You want to hit them before they jump. Like that. Right? If you're too fast, you'll get this. That means you hit them during their block stun, before their block stun ran out. And in that case, it doesn't matter how many buttons they press, they're just going to keep blocking. That's just how the game is programmed. Some games don't do this, but this game does do that. If you're too late... Oh, that was on time. There we go. If you're too late, you'll hit them out of the air and they'll flip. Right? So the goal is to hit them on the ground like this. This means that you hit them during their pre-jump, which means that basically you got a true frame trap. That was late. That was perfect. That was late. That was late. That was perfect. That was too early. Right? And try this with all your normals. Your jump CD will have the highest block stun out of all your jumping normals. Yeah, I'm way too early every time. But your hopping CD and your jumping heavies will have a medium amount, and your lights will have the least. Actually, I think lights have the same block stun. I don't really remember, but anyway. So try this with all your moves. How do I hit them on the ground? Not too early, so they block it, and not too late, so they get the air flip. Too early, right on time. That's a frame trap. That's layer one. That's one thing I might do. That's one thing I might do. Because I might go for that frame trap. Another thing I might do is I might just hop again. Okay? If I hop again, there's a gap in between. Okay, that one might not be a gap, but if, like, say I do this. Let me just record him doing this. Right? Well, he missed. Come on. There we go. You'll see this a lot. This type of thing. Where they just... Where they do hop, 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 hop. This is a very quick way to destroy your opponent's guard gauge. But each one of these hops can be beaten. Oops. See? But think about that. If you want to beat the second hop, you have to open yourself up to the frame trap. Let me say that again. If you think he's going to do hop and then hop again, you can challenge the second hop by doing a quick normal, like this is a 3-frame normal. But if he doesn't do the second hop and he does this instead, if he does the frame trap instead, you're going to get hit. Because it's a frame trap. That's the whole point of a frame trap. That is the first mix-up. Is, okay, what if he hops at me 100 times? You know, actually, let's get a solid number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Somewhere around 7 hops is where I'm going to get a guaranteed guard crush, right? So, if you see your opponent start to do this, you have to guess at some point. You have to guess at some point, okay? And if you guess right, you'll get out. But he can call you out. If he says, I'm going to do 3 hops and then frame trap. 1, 2, 3, frame trap. If he calls you out on that frame trap, he's earned it. Right? 1, 2, 3, and I think you're going to attack here. I'm going to hit you there. That is intermediate level KoF mix-ups. That is how you go from a beginner to an intermediate level KoF player in terms of pressure and mix-ups. Woo! Do you frame trap or not push your advantage and just see what the opponent does? Well, you can see what the opponent does while also frame trapping. Right? Like, if I do this, and he gets hit, oh, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, awesome, full combo. Right? So you don't have to do this to see what the opponent does. If that makes sense. So, if you're asking what is statistically the best choice, it depends on the game. If you're playing a game like Virtua Fighter, there's really nothing that you can do that's safe. You might just guess wrong and die, just because of how the game's designed. In this game, you can just go for frame traps, and you're basically safe. Like, you'll see me do this a lot. Doing basic hops, re-hops, and 1 to 2 to 3 hit confirms with various frame traps built in there is a very safe way of playing. It's not completely safe, especially against certain characters that have better anti-airs than others. But it does work, and I will adjust my safe option based on what I see. Like, if I think, how do I put this? If I think their offense is trash, I'll just do this. Right? I'll get my free guard gauge damage, and then wait. At a high, like a top level, the only reason to sit there and do nothing is if you're looking to punish or DP or anti-air them. If you're just going to sit still and wait for something, and you're trying to react to something, those are the only 2 things at a high level you really should be waiting for. Or maybe if there's like a timer situation where the timer's low and you have an advantage, you can do a runaway. That's totally fine as well. That's quite rare. You don't see timeouts very often in high level KoF 13. But in theory, it's possible that would be what you want. Now, in lower levels, there are times where it's good to wait and do nothing because your opponent's offense sucks. This is the most common type of player I see in KoF 13. Is a player where I want to corner myself and do nothing the whole game, because their offense is so bad that I am more likely to win than lose by just blocking and then hitting them during the holes in their offense, because their offense is trash. And that is a combination of, one, they don't threaten the guard break, which means that there's no risk involved, and two, the holes in their offense are very obvious and easy to exploit. Like, they're too repetitive. So, and that usually amounts to, they try to zone me with king and throw fireballs, and it doesn't work. And so they get bored and rush me down, and then step two, their rush down is really predictable. That's usually what ends up happening with that type of player, and that's the most common player that I've seen in any KoF game. Is people that don't understand the basics of what I just showed there. And I would say that is approximately a third of what you need to know to go from a beginner to an intermediate level player. Like there's a huge wall between people who know that and people who don't know that. I'll put it that way. And most people don't know that. But yeah, in Street Fighter, you're totally fine just doing jab, 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 and then okay, my offense is over. I'm back to playing footsies. Hello, Salim. I'm doing fine, but I'd be better if I had a KoF opponent. I got 2 hours left. Sure, the lobby's open. If it's still open in 5 minutes, you can just join. Yeah, I think KoF 12 was a beta test. I mean, I think KoF 14 was also a beta test for 15. Play other games? I just played Expedition 33 yesterday. The VODs on the channel. For 4 hours and a half. 4.5 hours I played Expedition 33. It's an RPG that just came out. Probably game of the year. We'll see. I like Blueprints as well. It's a puzzle game. As far as fighting games, I haven't played a different fighting game against a human opponent in several months. Because why would I play any other fighting game when I could be playing this one? Which is better. Too slow. I cannot tell what's happening. Yeah. Why did you just run into that and not die? How did his core forward punch beat far heavy kick after a blocked crouch jab? I don't think that's how math works. Great. To me, I should think he's just good. He's so good he breaks the rules of mathematics. I did a plus on block move into a faster move than he did, and it still lost. House of block screen. I couldn't backdash. Hilarious. Freaking whiff cancel, bro. Yeah. To freaking roll back my jump down B. Literally just teleporting wherever he wants. Yeah. Hilarious. No. Alright. He's dead in 2 hits. He's dead in 2 hits. I'm dead in 1 hit, probably. He uses... It might be 2 hits. Because you pick Kenso was his last character, but... Of course. Oh, I'm dead. Everybody sucks. think the roster is too safe. Okay. Interesting. Hiya! Wow. I baited your DP like 7 times, you didn't do it, bro. See, like this. What am I supposed to do? Just never bait DP, just get hit by every DP. Yeah, they spent a lot of money on these sprites. And time. What the heck? Why didn't it block? And why was it not in the corner? Interesting combo. He's dead. Oh, come on, game. Wow, he blocked there. That's crazy. All right. Woo! Cool. How do you do it, man? You can't keep rolling the dice and expect it to always land on 6s. You got a couple of 6s in a row, it's over. Just stop. Whoops. Yep. I not in the corner? How am I not in the corner again, bro? Bro, this game is so stupid sometimes. Yep. Okay. What? Yeah, of course. I take that. Yep, here we go again. Yeah, of course. Now he's not jumping anymore. What happened? What happened? He did random early air-to-air like 7 times. And now that I'm just sitting there waiting for it, he doesn't do it anymore. Like, I don't get it, man. Okay. You don't have Neo Max. Well, I'll do it. Man. Like, every single stupid guess he makes, like guesses that are not in his favor, he just wins them every time. So they are in his favor. I don't get it, dude. That should go over that, but I guess not anymore. That was too slow. I guess I'm not in the corner. Again. Okay. Yeah, then I guess wrong. But every time I make a crazy guess, I lose. I don't know. I don't know, man. When he plays stupid, he wins. When I play stupid, I lose. No throw, I guess. Yeah. Yep. Okay. How have I still not blocked a DP? Oh, there we go. I got one. Woohoo! I blocked a DP. Wow! I got hit by the first 20, but who cares? I blocked one. Alright. Oh, let's see. Alright, I don't have the meter. I need to block for 10 seconds to build the meter. Okay. Waste your only super meter on the command grab that does 150 damage. Alright. One hit to kill. Do a freaking uppercut, bro. Crazy. I got one. New characters, huh? They still haven't patched this? Oh, whatever. What a team. Who's my anchor? Probably karate, but let's do this. Balance flight. Whoa, anti-air close heavy kick. Huh? What a weird round. How do you spend one drive with him without the core or a DP? Ugh. How'd it hit me? How did I not tech that? No. I guess mine lifts. Oh, unfortunate. How do you get 4? Dear Lord. He got rewarded for missing a quarter circle. Wow. That's impressive. Okay. That's plus, really? It's so laggy I can't even guard cancel. I tried like 3 times, it didn't guard cancel. Yeah. Oh, really? What? How did I not hit you? Where's my roll? I'm pressing roll. It's gonna be crouch light kick, dude. What a combo. I blocked that trash. Unfortunate. Okay. Okay. I eliminated Salim from the tournament. 3-2. New characters, huh? You played 1 match and you're like, no. Yeah. Interesting. KoF XIII good net play? Yep, I'm playing with Salim, who is in Europe. I am not in Europe. And backgrounds are not static. Backgrounds are not static. Look. See? He's moving. Bodega. Whoa. What? That's punishable. He didn't punish it though. Bodega. Okay. Okay. See you later, Danny. Cross up, jump, heavy kick with you. Huh? Yep. On 9 Iori's got unreactable hops. Not even roll back and save that. Cross up again. He meant to do that. Yep, unreactable hops. And I'm dead. Yep. Unreactable hops. Meet me offline, bro. What? Okay. I pressed jab to beat your throw because I knew what you were trying to do. But it didn't work. As always, I have the right read. But I die anyway. Yep. 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 And now we're lagging. Six rollback and 3 delay. Come on, man. Okay. This is just trash. Unplayable lag. Okay. Yeah. God, you're so autopilot. Online. Yeah. Guess I'm not blocking. What? Guess I'm not blocking. Yep. He chose that frame to block for some reason, even though he had like guaranteed frame advantage. Screw me, I guess. Punish on hit, huh? Okay, just jump right over my crouch heavy punch, no big deal. Yeah. Right. I tried. Really? Punished on hit? They specifically made that move not do that most of the time. Okay, I guess my move just didn't hit you. Classic. Okay. That's unfortunate. I want to see my inputs, bro. I input EX Orochimaru, but she doesn't have the EX Orochimaru, so it would have given me regular Orochimaru and I would have died. Interesting. Okay. Okay, anti-air heavy kick. Backdash punish. Oops, that's the right button. Of course. Guess I'm not in the corner anymore. Guess that's not invincible anymore. Like, there's so many cases of me doing the correct option, but it just doesn't work for some reason. And I just don't know why. Okay. Point blank crouch sweep. Like, okay. Yep. Unreactable online. Classic. Yep. Unreactable with 3 frames of delay, that's for sure. We'll never know who actually won that match. If it was played offline. From that far. How did I beat their freaking armor? That's why I do that move. Like, again, I do the correct option, but it loses. For no reason. Of course. What am I even watching, dude? Punish on hit, of course. That actually killed. That's... I hate this freaking character. She's so easy. She's so effective. And she's totally safe. All the time. Yep. And she has unreactable overheads online as well. Yep. Stupid normals as well. How am I dead? Because he missed a throw tech. That's crazy. Where's my... Oh, it's the wrong motion. His is half circle forward. What a hitbox. Of course. How did you block that? Great. No way he's plus there. No way he's plus there. I hate this stupid character, dude. I hate Kula. I hate Kula. I hate Kula. Everything about this character is so stupid. Okay, a random heavy kick takes it, I guess. What am I supposed to do about that? Why did it trade? You did a move that wasn't invincible. I did a move that was fully invincible, and it just traded. What do I do? Well, time to get hit by every single EX roll. Great. What a dumb character. Holy... Why does her meterless reflect work against EX fireballs? That hit 75 times. Okay. Deicide. Yeah, who'd have guessed? What? That is the worst chin HD combo I've ever seen. Yeah, you know what's unbeatable, and you know how to spam it. Okay. Yeah, classic. You can't do the easiest combo in the game. Okay. Micro dashing. Practice. What matters is not the timing of the first forward. That was still too close, huh? Where is my follow-up? Yeah, classic. Yeah, can't beat it. Yep. Crazy. When you input a dash in most fighting games, the first forward doesn't matter. Time the second forward. Where's my dash? Oh my god, game. Can't get over either. Why did it not freaking combo? I did crouch light punch to crouch light kick. What? I wish my jumping normals would just stop whiffing for no reason, that'd be great if I could just, you know, play the game and the attacks actually did what they were supposed to do. That'd be really great. Yep. How did I not see that one coming? I have a DP now, idiot. You can't do that anymore. I'm dead anyway. Hey. Frame rate invisible to tell you if you're going too fast or too late. If you're too early, the second attack will not come out. If you are too late, the attack will come out, but it will be blocked. That's how it works for most generic Link combos. Yeah. How did I get that move? Great. Yep. What? Why would you do that? What is the logic? And why does it work? I hate dying to stupid things. I hate it. Yep. I held left and it guard canceled to the right. That's a new one. That's a new one. Didn't think this game let you do that. But I guess it does if you buffer it. Great. Really? Nope. No. Rely on unreactable overheads, I guess. Yep. Dang, oh my gosh. He tried to throw me. And throws beat DPs in this game. Yep. Right over his head, of course. Okay. Yeah, what is... why do I ever take a risk? Just do the same crap over and over again and I'll get a 50% win rate. That's all it takes. Just play safe, do absolutely nothing, make no reads. Just play normally. I guess that whiffed. Now you throw! How many times did I jump and you didn't command grab, and then the one time I don't jump, you do command grab? That's not a read, that's just luck. You can't, that's not humanly possible. Yep, takes a lot of range. Yep, unreactable. Yeah, now you uppercut. Yeah. Thanks, game. Yep, unreactable. No drive cancel. Unreactable. Yep. Great. How did I hit you? What? Why would you do that, and why did it work? If I do a random super, huh? What happens? Nothing? Oh. What is happening? He's literally picking Kyo and doing random EX red kicks with regular Kyo. And they're all working. Yeah. Punish from full screen. Classic. The perfect counter. Because why wouldn't you have the perfect counter every time? Because why wouldn't you have the perfect counter every time? Just press the right button, bro. It's that easy. Just press the better button. And you win. This game's so easy. Yep. Yep. 5 rollback, 4 rollback, 0 rollback. What do you want? Wi-Fi? EX? You got it. Okay. How did that not hit you? Yeah. I literally did close heavy punch, forward light kick, and the quarter forward heavy kick, and you jumped, and it didn't hit you. Like, how much harder of a read do I need to make for it to actually freaking work? Yeah. No backdash allowed, I guess. What? Of course, my jab just doesn't come out, because why would it? You hyper hopped at point blank range that didn't cross up. Very interesting game design. What are you gonna do, huh? That was in range? Really? Yeah. Sometimes you just guess wrong 7 times in a row and die to Clark. Because he does a strike, and then a throw, and then a strike, and then a strike, and then a strike, and then a strike, and then you're dead. And you guess wrong every single time. What? Punish. The only character in the game that can punish that. Got a bad matchup, I guess. Okay. Yeah, keep doing online bullcrap that doesn't work offline. Yeah. When was the last time I jumped over a Clark command grab? Oh wait! I have jumped over 0 today, and we've been playing for 2 hours. Holy crap, I jumped over 1. It's a miracle. I guess I can't do combos. I guess I'm out of range. I guess I'm freaking dead. That's punishable on block, but you don't care. That's... Wow. I cannot believe it. I spent a game and a half holding up and jumped 0 command grabs and got hit by a bunch of command grabs. And then for the last half of that last game, I stopped jumping and he immediately started doing command grabs. And they all hit. With no warning. That's not a read, that's just guessing and you're getting freaking lucky. Okay, I guess they hit me. I guess you are playing on Wi-Fi again. Yeah, right over. What a waste of meter. But you don't care. Okay. Wake up, close, heavy punch, and the half circle back kick, I guess. Okay. Where's my throw tip? I'll block the next DP. Doesn't work. Yep. If it doesn't work the first 10 times, do it again. Yep. Yep. Where's my fireball? Where is it? Yep. Maybe next year I'll frickin' jump a Clark command grab and not get air grabbed. Maybe next year. What happened? Of course. Yeah, of course. Of course, the instant I start blocking is the instant you go for the grab. Yeah, of course. Of course. Literally, I held up the entire round until he did the command grab. And then I got grabbed because I stopped holding up. Literally. I can't roll. He meant to do that. Yep. Yep. Unreactable. Yep. Shouldn't wake up EX grab again. It would have worked. Meter. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Why didn't that combo? Okay. Yeah, of course. Okay. Yeah, I had to land in the one frame. You just had to press heavy punch. I gotta press a one frame link. Thanks, game. Oh, I'm dead. Why? Because he command grabbed me, and then he didn't command grab me, and then he didn't command grab me. And I thought the opposite of that all 3 times. Unfortunate. Thanks for watching. It's been a nice stream. See you guys next time. Bye.